Online dating's pretty tough. I remember when I was a single man using Tinder, my go-to line was, "Do you like Brendan Fraser movies?" It worked to tremendous success. It was like a real-life cheat code for getting laid. But I understand not everyone's gonna be as suave as I was. However, I'd argue nobody has less game than the guy I'm about to show you. This should lift your spirits. If you ever feel bad about yourself, like, damn, I suck at online dating, just know you'll never be as bad as this living, breathing organism I'm about to show you. For those that have been around the channel for a while, you'll know that I've always enjoyed reading horrible flirting as well as just really disastrous, like, romance attempts online. I used to have a whole series going through Facebook flirting, which is where I learned about, bitch lasagna, as well as also a line I still use today, "Put your ass in my asshole, baby." Things like that. I've always loved it. I don't really make content around it anymore, but today I had to come out of retirement. I had to dust off the old championship belt here for this one because I saw this on Reddit and I was smiling ear to ear. It is so bad. So this is where our journey begins. Now, again, this was posted to Reddit, so there's like a 90% chance it's fake. But god damn it, I'm gonna suspend disbelief and just enjoy the ride. Now, of course, I'm not an expert here. Rick wouldn't call me into the shop on Pawn Stars to check the authenticity of this piece, but there are countless of very real examples with pathetic dudes that go just like this. So, there is a good chance it's real. So these two have been talking for a little while, and my man comes in with the clown shoes and asks, "Are you on birth control?" I know it's a personal question, but kind of important to know. And then they say, "Okay, I'm canceling Wednesday." This could have gone better. This is suboptimal. This is a rough start right here. If it was a speed run, this would be a reset. This is about as bad as you could expect. He immediately ruined the date that they had planned by just immediately going full hog and just sending it. And from there was no recovering, and it gets real bad. He does not handle this super well. There was no grace or elegance. "Lol, I'm kidding, dude, relax." He's just, it's just stand-up comedy, honestly. He was practicing his material. Why are you overreacting? "I'm uncomfortable with these jokes." "Okay, sorry, I'll stop." "Okay." "No, I'm still canceling it." And now we get into his Joker arc. "Well, that's really your loss for being so uptight, but okay. I'll just go to work and make $900 in 12 hours. Really? You're overreacting. Seriously? And you wonder why you're single? Yawn. Still waiting for your reply, lol. I actually had you double booked with another girl, so I'm kinda happy you decided to be a psycho. You sure you want to cancel it?" This is a full roller coaster worth of emotion here. This man's hitting all 5 stages of denial within 6 text messages. This shit goes insano style quick. So let's break it down piece by piece. At first it's like, okay, you're missing out on a catch. I'm the perfect guy. I'm a real fucking man. Check my KD in Fortnite. I'm nuts. And you know what? Fuck you. I'm just gonna go make $900 in 12 hours at my job because I'm pulling fat racks. I've got stacks on stacks. Like, I'm kind of nutty. I'm one of the wealthiest men in the world, in fact. Then you can see panic start to set in when the money play didn't pan out. I'm guessing like 5 minutes had passed and he was already hyperventilating and breathing into a paper bag to calm himself down. So he tries to like put it on her like something's wrong with her. She's overreacting. Why are you just freaking out over nothing? It's like that scene in Airplane with that girl who's like afraid of flying. So they start like shaking her. "Hey, get a hold of yourself. Come on, get a hold of yourself. It was just a joke." So then he goes right into his bad boy mode. He puts on his sunglasses and trench coat and says, "You know what? Actually, this is good for me. I double booked you with another girl. So the fact that you're psycho is helpful for me because now I can just go to this other girl. In fact, I was just trying to have like 10 girls to have sex with on the same day, and you were just one of the many. So it's not that big of a deal. But are you sure you want to cancel? Like, I'm totally telling the truth, but are you like sure you want to cancel?" I love that attempt. It's like, I'm so desirable, actually. In fact, I totally forgot I'd already had another girl that I was gonna fuck this day, so it's fine. And then has the audacity to call her a psycho. And I love the way that he says it, "I double booked." This man has clearly never actually had a date in his life. It's like he's just penciling it in on a calendar, as if it's like a part of his job. Now we make a transition into Act 3 here, into just full-blown neediness and scary obsession. "Please call me, please. I'm at work, dude." Lol, I know. I'm just being incredibly annoying to show you how most guys act. So maybe you'll realize I'm not that bad. "So I'll see you Wednesday?" That doesn't even make sense. You were fine until that joke. This is a Hail Mary. This man hatched the ultimate plan. So after he realized that by begging to be called back, it was a bit much, a rare moment of self-reflection. He's like, okay, yeah, it's a bit weird. So then he's like, how do I get out of this now? I've got it. I was actually just pretending to be needy and obsessed. It was called acting. I was actually just doing this to show you what most other simpletons do, not a sophisticated, nice guy like me. So I'll see you Wednesday, right? Dude, I was kidding with you. It's a joke. You do know I'm a doctor, right? My brain thinks at a much higher level than yours or the average person. It wasn't even sexual. It was a joke. And I said if you don't like those type of jokes, I won't joke like that anymore. This should be the end of it. You should be like, okay, cool. And then if I do it again, then you get pissed. Yeah, he's a doctor. Dr. Love, baby. This guy's good. This is real smooth. I have to imagine he's not actually a doctor. I mean, maybe fucking Dr. Evil. I have no clue. But regardless, I love that he's like, I actually just have such a galaxy brain. I'm thinking on a totally different level than you and all of these other plebeians. I'm just too fucking smart. That's my curse. That's the burden I bear. I'm too intelligent, which is why I made this joke. And the joke is a thinking man's joke. It's actually an anti-joke, in fact. You know how there's like matter and antimatter? This is an anti-joke, and now I'm explaining it to you so you don't have the right to get mad about it. You see, you're just wrong for getting upset about it, and it's because I'm so much smarter than you. And I understand that it's not your fault for being fucking stupid, but just know that since I'm a doctor, I know what's right and what's wrong when it comes to joking. You off just get pissed right off the bat and be all rude to someone. That's a major turnoff, and just know. Yeah, she was the one being rude. She was nice enough to give you like a warning that she's canceling. She's like, hey, you're a fucking weirdo and I'm canceling. She could have just said nothing and not showed up on Wednesday, wasting your time by going there. And you just sit there all fucking soft cock in hand waiting and just not even getting a response. But she was nice enough to like cancel to your face. Like, that's far more than you deserved. Okay, so rant over. Are we cool now? Yeah, I think things are good now. I'm reading the room and it looks like he may have solved this problem here and fixed everything. You just talk shit to me. All I said was I'm canceling it. I didn't do what did talk shit to someone. What? Those are not coherent sentences. Of course I'm talking shit to you. You just flaked after I asked for that night off. Do you know how hard it is for me to get a night off work? Continuing further, let's just stop this childish nonsense. I'll see you Wednesday, right? This is that shit, don't take no for an answer, which I think is honestly the worst advice you can ever give someone. No is like the most important answer you should accept. By not accepting no's, you're just gonna go to jail at some point. Like, you're just asking for some kind of awful thing to happen to you. Like, no is an important thing to recognize and respect. And then they respond, you do not need to criticize my sentences. Change of mind and telling you about it doesn't really make it flaking. I was upfront. You said you already booked another date with someone else. Go enjoy it. I don't know why you're trying to with me, especially since you think so little of me already. Man's going full-blown car salesman. Just meet me Wednesday. I'm sorry, okay? Just will not drop it. There is no chance she shows up on Wednesday. This is coming across like an actual serial killer now who's just scratching at his neck for his next victim. Like, he just cannot help but just keep saying, you're coming Wednesday. I know you are. You're gonna meet me here Wednesday. Call me immediately. I'm at work. I'm not going to take the call. Okay, then we are meeting Wednesday, right? Are we cool? I feel like she might be talking to King Ghidorah here, just three separate heads all talking at once and all having different thoughts. One of them is just a fucking android that can only say Wednesday. One of them is just like a spiteful lunatic who thinks that there's some galaxy brain intellect that can't help but shit on her. And then one of them is just like a lobotomized zombie who just constantly just keeps asking, are we cool? Are we good now? It's wild, like the swings this guy goes through on these text messages here. Then he goes all in saying, look, my mom recently died, okay? So I'm kinda not really in the best place to be messed with. So if you could understand that would be great. Please, dude, please answer me. Can you please stop being immature and call me? Now, admittedly, she was being very immature about this whole situation by not understanding such level-headed remarks from a gentleman like this. It really was her being immature, clearly. And I also can't help but respect the actual Xbox Live tactic of saying his mom died. That is unironically 2005 Xbox Live shit right there. Like, your mom's a whore, mom's dead, and it's supposed to be like the checkmate. He actually tried it. It's like, oh, mom's dead, so now you have to excuse everything I've said. and you have to go on this date with me, I'll see you Wednesday, right? Come on, stop being immature. So yeah, anyway, that's where this story wraps up. Hopefully, if some of you are shitty at online dating, this will help you feel a little bit better and maybe help you improve in that respect in some way. Hopefully, none of you are as bad as this guy or anywhere close, but if you're just kind of, awkward and uncomfortable when it comes to conversations via text, maybe this will lift your spirits up a little bit, because you're probably not as bad as this guy. Anyway, that's about it. So yeah. Have you ever really taken a step back and got deep in thought and realized just how incredible it is that we as humans are able to speak to each other, language, and how mind-blowing that concept is? Communication is a blessing. But today I almost feel like it's a curse. I just read legitimately the worst thing ever, and it makes me regret that our ancestors at one point when they were still cavemen started grunting at each other to communicate, and then it eventually led to this existing. Oh my god, I saw this today, and it made me ill. And I thought, if I had to bear this burden knowing that this exists, you're gonna have to share in the load with me, so let's go on a little adventure here. It's from Tinder. Let me introduce you to the boy wonder Chris here. So, these two individuals matched, and Chris was making the first move here, shooting his shot. I better be your top priority, with a little winky face emoji. I don't know if that's the strongest opener. I haven't been on dating apps in many moons now, but that seems a bit weak, but hey, his heart's in the game. She responds to that in a pretty playful way, I think is what she was going for. So she says, let me know if you want to go out tomorrow so I can cancel my daughter's parent-teacher conference. To which our Casanova here says, such a good girl you are. I'm free tomorrow. It's already getting so yucky. Such a good girl you are. He's speaking to her like it's a dog or something, like he's about to offer her a treat. And then she says, I'm not, with a laughing crying emoji, to which he wants some clarity. You're not a good girl, or you're not free. And she clears up the confusion. She says, not free. I have to go to a parent-teacher conference. Already, this whole exchange is going cattywampus. The wheels are falling off pretty quickly. And somehow it just continues to go further downhill. A goddamn avalanche of cringe. So he goes, damn, I actually thought you'd be fucking bad AF and cancel. Ha ha. And she says, I'm alarmed that you would want to go out with someone who would do that. And he goes, ha ha. I mean, in the back of my head, I was hoping it was a joke, that you didn't actually have one. To which she says, unfortunately, I do. And then he goes, all good, you're doing well, giving me attention right now. And then she says, I can meet up for a drink if you want since you live close. I have my kids this week, but they're older, so it's not like I can't go out. I have them every other week. Where do you live? His response here is really confusing. What does that mean? All good, you're doing well, giving me attention right now. What's happening? Is she like scratching under his chin? Like, I don't get it. What is he referring to? They're just talking on Tinder, and why is she... So you're going to start to notice that as this exchange continues to unfold here, it feels as though they're having two different conversations. Like, it's super all over the place. Like, the dots don't connect at all. Like, they're in two different dialogue trees, and it's not matching up. Now, our boy Chris, the protagonist, is a lot of things, but a coward he is not. He tries to employ the most delusional strategy you could ever envision. This is not something you'd ever find in John Madden's playbook, I'll say it like that. So, after he asks which part of downtown she's in, she replies, not saying. He then tries to, assure her that he's not gonna, go out of his way to find her. He's not, a stalker. He's not weird or creepy. He says, I'm not gonna go find you, lol. And then he says, I just got done with the gym, now doing post-workout naked stretching. Chris, are you okay? Post-workout naked stretching. You're off your gourd. Brother, you lost your marbles. What is a post-workout naked stretch? Are you telling me this guy's at Planet Fitness right now in the locker room fucking goatseeing himself in order to get reps in at the end? That's how he cools down? What is a post-workout naked stretch? I've never heard of that before. This is him trying to be hot about things, I think. Ooh, this is gonna get her wet. I was at the gym, pumping iron, praying at the iron temple, way min, babe. And then I finished. Biggest pump of my life. So obviously I took my pants off, put both legs over my head, and hung a 5-pound kettlebell from my erect wiener. Hold for 30 seconds for 3 sets. It's the only way to conclude a good workout. What the fuck is even happening? I don't know why he thought this was a good idea. Like, unless he's like an OnlyFans creator or something, and this is just content that he films, like the, naked yoga that you see on YouTube or something. It's just, it is a wild attempt here at like flirting or trying to be like sexy on Tinder or something. It is bold. It is brutally cringe. She then responds by saying, if you were driving by, you might peep in the window. Haha. Sounds uncomfortable. Referring to the stretching, I think. To which he just says, I mean, of course. Now here's where things get even more fucking confusing here. The conversation really does feel like some kind of malfunctioning quest line in an MMO where like the dialogue is just incorrect. Like the characters are glitching out. So he says to the stretch, asking about like what sounds uncomfortable. And then she says, no, for work. My stylist feeds me champagne. I don't know, maybe I'm the problem. What is she talking about? Like, how does that fit into anything that's happened here with this absolute disaster that Chris is trying? I don't understand. Maybe she's just trying to change the subject. I'm really not sure. And then he goes, was a bartender, now I'm just a content creator and gonna start day trading. Oh, so you're a little horny. What is happening? So I think my initial theory might be the right one. He might be like an OnlyFans creator, so the naked stretching he puts on the premium subscription tiers or something. But those days are going to be short-lived because he's going right to day trading. He's going to the tippy top of the food chain. He's watched a few TikTok financial gurus and he's got it figured out now. I also don't know why he says, so you're a little horny? Like, where is he even finding that? There's no hint of horniness anywhere in here. And then she goes, oh God, what a nightmare you are. Got some crypto, do you? So the red flags are abundant here. She's starting to notice there's some holes in this ship, and it is sinking. This is fucking going disastrous, catastrophic. And he goes, ew, no, I'm not a corporate bro. I'm a film person. I mean, okay. To which she also just says, okay. And he goes, good girl. What in tarnation is happening? This is like when you used to try to talk to Cleverbot back in like 2010. It's nonsensical. Chris's mind is an enigma. It is a confusing, perplexing hellscape of ideas, and communication is not. It's frying my brain just trying to process it. His inability to communicate effectively is impressive. It's alarming. Next he says, I just want to get away from bartending before I hit someone, lol, to which he says, yeah, nobody wants to hit content creators and day traders, obviously making a joke about it. He then goes, nah, or tap, but at least I'm tall and handsome, one saving grace. So he's trying to hype himself up, give himself some gas here, which falls extremely flat. The tank is run empty. She just goes, if you say so, and then he tries to save it by saying, a focus group told me, wasn't my say. His attempt at being playful, like, oh, I would never say this about myself. It's what everybody else says. I'm tired of hearing it, actually, about how fucking tall and handsome I am. And then she says, I like short guys. He goes, how short? And she says 5'7" to 5'10". And this is where it got personal for me. A dagger to my heart. She likes short guys and then lists guys taller than me. So I am freakishly short in her eyes. That's fucked up. 5'6" is fine. 5'6" is a beautiful, perfect height. Damn it. His response to all this is another head scratcher. He goes, well, I'm too tall to ride you then, even though I prefer shorter women. She says, well, I'm sure I'm too non-gym oriented for you. He says, you look like a gym exercise, to be honest. But, yeah, you look like a good barbell curl. You look like a lat pull-down machine, babe. Yeah, fuck yeah. Nailed that. A wonderful line from him, really. I walk my dog slowly around the block twice a day. He says, I'll be the dog. This guy is so horny. This guy is criminally horny. Like, his arousal should be studied because it is on a whole different level, a whole different dimension. Everything he is reading is making him hornier, and he's saying goofier and creepier things each and every time. She goes, no offense, but you might be the fuckboyest fuckboy I've ever talked to on Tinder. And he goes, damn, you must not get many guys on here then. You could get 1 million guys, and I still think this guy would be up there in like the top 0.001% of outrageously horny weirdos. This is impressive. She says he's her first match in 1.5 years, and he says, because this is light news compared to the shit I've heard, talking about like war stories, about to have a PTSD episode about the shit he's read on here. And then he says, doesn't help I'm naked with a heart on. And then her response is, I don't feel like I'm being very flirtatious. And then he says, the stretching and stroking while talking to you helped. What is happening? Somebody save Chris from himself. What is going on? This could be its own fuel source. Like, his sexual arousal, his non-stop, never-ending horniness on a conversation that has gone nowhere, talked about nothing, and yet he is still beating his meat to it, choking the chicken to what? To what? Like, there's not even, like, an imagination you can make out of this conversation that would be even remotely associated with something sexual. And he just keeps going. He's talking about being naked with a heart on. What happened to your naked stretches? What are your stretches? What are those naked post-workout stretches? Does he put a butt plug in and wiggle it around or something to stretch out his ass, and that's why he's so horny now? Is hitting his G-spot? Like, what is going on? All she says to that is, okay. And then he goes, do you mind? I'm doing it whether you mind or not. I don't really care, but do you mind? Is that cool with you, you think? And then she goes, mind what? Me stroking myself while we chat. Oh, it's so yucky. Oh, it's so foul. Not at all. Can I tell you a story about last night when I was alone in my bed? Sure. My cat jumped up next to me and started hacking, and then she threw up in my hair. So this is her attempt to try and gross him out to ruin his mood, but she doesn't realize the raid boss of cringe that she's up against. He even calls her bluff. He goes, not gonna get me soft. Literally wiggling his finger saying, nope, that's not gonna stop me. I'm squeezing my hog no matter what. I've had my cat vomit multiple times. I had to get up anyway because I perioded all over my sheets. And he goes, yum, nice try. And she goes, through the mattress cover. He goes, bleach helps. Were you naked? Oh my god, he's still in it. He's still in the zone. He's in the flow state. He's in the mainframe. And she goes, I was wearing my hoodie footy pajamas that have toasters on them. To which he says, with an ass flop. And he comes back to clarify that he meant flap, because ass flop makes no sense and wouldn't want to be rude, that'd be ridiculous. To which she also says, no, that's ridiculous. And he goes, of course, I'm harder than ever now. She just sends an emoji. He goes, yep, I'll leave you alone, unless I can show off. So he's finally saying, all right, I'm out of here. I've had my fill. I've done what I needed to do. I'm good. And then she closes this all out by saying, why do you even need to get a woman on the other end of the conversation? Just put a wig on a stuffed giraffe and show her your stuff and talk about how hot you are. So this whole conversation is one for the books. This is something special. This is so fucking weird. On every possible level. A part of me thought that it was him just trying to be weird on purpose, just to, like, I don't know, gross out a stranger on Tinder or something. But the more I read about it, and read it itself, the sacred text here, the more I'm convinced that this guy is just an actual fucking freak. Like, just an actual lunatic. So yeah, I just had to share this. That's about it. See ya. Santa Claus came early with the cringe. His little helpers were cooking up something fierce, and, well, it got gifted under my tree a bit early today. And I wanted to share it with all of you. It's definitely different than the normal things we've been covering when it comes to this romantic rabbit hole of tragedy. The worst text messages, the worst flirting, the worst dates. This one is different from all the others I've covered, actually. So cozy on up with your favorite Christmas sweater, get under the mistletoe, and get ready to kiss your sanity goodbye, because this one is a real head-scratcher. For the first time in this goofy little series history, we're getting the perspective of a man talking to a woman here. Usually it's the other way around, where a woman has a really creepy encounter with a man and things go cattywampus, shit pops off, tits up, it's all over the place, it's a catastrophe. This time, we're going Freaky Friday mode, we're switching bodies here, so we're on the perspective of a man who has just matched with a woman from Tinder. They've been talking for a little while and it leads to this. I'm jealous, I want ribeye. I'm assuming they were talking about ribeye. I'm quite the detective, I know. I just have a hunch that that's what the conversation was about. She then continues, lol, I'm glad you liked that. To which he says, I would happily cook for you. What's your favorite food? Oh, you will? I love baking, so maybe I'll bake you a cake or some bread, lol. I love steak, rare or medium rare. I love that idea. When can we make this happen? What a great start. I dare say these two are soulmates. This is wholesome, the exchange is going super well. Looks like they're about to set up a date to cook together or bake together. How could it possibly go awry? The good vibes continue. I'm not sure. You haven't asked me on a proper date yet. To which he says, what are you up to tomorrow evening? This is already looking like something out of a Hallmark movie. This is super efficient, super, great all around. She says, I'm pretty sure my family is stopping by because my sister's in town, but I'm not completely sure. What about you? I see. I've got nothing tomorrow evening. I'd like to schedule said date with you, but I also need to maneuver around holiday busyness. Do you have availability 12/26? And she says, I'm off all next week. The 26th would be perfect, with 2 blushing, smiling emojis. And I'm just sitting here smiling, blushing, reading this story. Got me cheesing. It's so happy and wholesome. I also find it cute that in order to schedule the date, he conducted it like it was some kind of business meeting, penciling her in and locking it down. The whole thing is just adorable. So how could it possibly end up in the shitter? What went wrong? Well, let's take a peek. Beautiful. It's a date. Would you be comfortable coming to my loft in blank and we can cook? I have a cat here too. She's lovely. To which she responds, no, I'm sorry. I don't do apartment dates for first dates. That literally made me so disappointed that you said that as a suggestion. I'm going to cut this loose. I hope you have a good Christmas and good New Year. Wish you the best. To which he says, all good. That's a totally understandable position from the woman here. Not going to a stranger's apartment for the first date is probably the safest decision you can make, so there's nothing wrong with setting a hard line in the sand like, hey, I don't really go to people's apartments for the first time meeting them. That kind of decision probably keeps you alive. You might end up at a fucking serial killer's place. You go over there for medium rare steak, and you end up the steak. Turns out your Tinder date is Armin Meaves or something from Cannibal Cafe. So there's nothing wrong with her not wanting to go there for the first date. But she immediately jumps to being like, all right, we're done here. I'm so disappointed you even suggested it. Even though they were talking about cooking and baking together. It's not like he just pulled this out of his ass like a nefarious plot where he was rubbing his hands together and came up with this scheme. They were talking about cooking and baking together. How are you supposed to do that together outside of a household or an apartment or something? There's really no way to do that, so it should be pretty obvious why he suggested it. And he wasn't pressuring her into it. He even said, if you're comfortable, here's an option I think would be fun since we've been talking about cooking and baking. He wasn't poking her or trying to bribe her into coming over there and set a trap or anything. He was just putting the offer out there. So I feel like a less aggressive response from her would have been something more along the lines of, hey, politely, I'd like to decline that. Don't feel comfortable going to your place for our first time meeting. And according to the comment section, he planned on offering an alternative because he understood why she wouldn't want to do that. But then things really start to pop off before he had the chance. So he says, I hope you have a great Christmas as well. To which she responds, Jdi du perdele zetrat se. I'm 100% sure I butchered the pronunciation on that, but I popped it in a Google Translate here, and it translates to go to hell, get lost. And I decided to investigate further, damn near having to revive Babelfish to try and get another translation because that just sounded so incomprehensibly mean after all of this. But the other translation that I keep seeing for it is basically, fuck you. Which just doesn't make any sense to me because the guy was just following the conversation they were having. They were both saying yeah, let's cook together. And then she even suggested baking, yeah, let's bake together. So he's like, all right, bet, let's do it. Let's cook and bake together. And then she just goes, fuck you, scumbag. Get lost. So he tries to explain himself. He goes, for the record, it just seemed like a logical next step in the conversation because we were talking about cooking together. Sorry to offend or disappoint you, ma'am. And she just goes, go fuck yourself, dude. This time, plain English. So that one I understood. And then he just says, very weird response in my opinion. And then she unleashes the demon here. She lets Hulkmania run wild. You know exactly why you fucking invited me to your loft. And it wasn't for cooking. Don't text me ever again, blocked. And then he just goes, we met on Tinder, remember? Wish you the best in getting a date. I'll be warning all 30,000 women in blank about you. Now you're blocked. And he's just like, well, actually, wiggling his finger, blank has a population of 6.47 million, about half of which would be women. Warning 30,000 people about anything is an extremely tall order. You don't even get 30,000 people that heed hurricane warnings in Florida. If she's somehow able to send up the bat signal here to warn all 30,000 women in that immediate area about this guy, hats off to her. That's an incredible achievement, and she should use that power for good instead of evil. This guy didn't do anything wrong. He's clearly starting to take the piss here a little bit and just play around with it with that population remark. But I almost don't blame him because this is such an unbelievably hostile response to something that wasn't ever really meant in a disrespectful way, at least not from what I can see. She just immediately jumped to the conclusion that this guy is only looking to have sex with her. He's not actually inviting her over to cook. He is inviting her over to his place just for some coitus. There would be no steak being prepared. The only thing being steamed in that apartment would be ham. Steamed ham. I'm referring to them fucking. Like, that's such a stupid way of saying it. Mashing pissers, whatever have you. So she just believed that this guy was some huge asshole and was only using cooking as some kind of Trojan horse to get her over, but his true intentions were for a little bedroom rodeo action and nothing more. When really, to me, it really seems like they were talking about cooking and baking together. They were both on the same page. So when the idea of a date came up, which she proposed, the logical conclusion you draw is, hey, we've been talking about cooking and baking together, let's do that for our date. Like, it doesn't really seem like there was any kind of malicious intent behind it, and he never really had a chance to offer an alternative because she immediately just shut the whole thing down, which she has every right to do. There's nothing wrong with that, but it does seem like he wasn't trying to just be some douchebag or whatever. Like, it seemed like he was just offering a date that they had been talking about as a mutual interest. I'm sure he probably would have offered an alternative since she wasn't comfortable coming over to his place. He continues to just get a little sarcastic about things. He goes, please warn them about how a guy from Tinder invited you over to cook the day after Christmas. To which she says, dude, I'm in multiple groups totaling over 500,000. With your face, LMAO, you won't be getting no play unless you pay. Good riddance, roach. Honestly starting to sound like the Navy SEALs copy pasta. I've got over 500 confirmed blocks, and I will have your face plastered in the papers for 500,000 people to see. I'm part of every goddamn Facebook group on the East Coast, and they'll all know your name, villain. He just says, lol, roach. She continues, and I will, 2 exclamation points. It's like she's giving like a big speech in front of an auditorium. I'll let them know you tried to fucking invite me to your pathetic-ass apartment for an easy lay masquerade as a cooking date. Yeah, we aren't stupid. Even your fucking hairline ran from you. Now sit back and enjoy being alone. And he just goes, I hope you find peace and love. Yeah, I mean, what else can you do except pray for happiness for her? Like, this went south so quick out of nowhere, and I don't think it needed to. They could have just said, like, not comfortable, are you open to anything else? And if he tried to be pushy about it, like, no, you have to come to my apartment, then all of this is a totally reasonable thing to say. Like, no, you clearly just want to fuck, get out of here, get lost, scram, Buster, you know, hit the road, take a hike. But she didn't even get that far. She immediately just jumped to this assumption that this guy is a piece of shit and he needs to go to hell and get lost. And now apparently she's going around putting up wanted posters like it's One Piece with a 5 billion berry bounty on this guy's head, all because he had the gall to invite her over for a cooking date that both of them were discussing together. I just don't really know how she'd even frame this as a bad guy to her 500,000 person group that she's a part of. I don't even know what group that would be. That's like a wildly large group to be a part of, and I can't imagine she has like a power position there where she can put out an APB on this guy or something. But even still, I don't really know how you could even spin this guy as a horrible person. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to cover this one. This one's different from the norm that we usually go over here, so that's really about it. So yeah. My friend sent me something today, and I really appreciate that he was thinking of me when he found this. It's a text thread. Well, it's a very short series of texts between a very short man and his now ex-girlfriend, whom he broke up with because she had the audacity to wear heels around him. Now, I myself am also a fun-sized gentleman. I am on the shorter side of things, and I can see why Matt thought of me when he found this story here, this adventure. So the background is these two went to a party, she wore heels, he got really salty and upset about it, so he broke up with her because she was now taller than him while wearing those heels. So she's now trying to like process this and figure out what the fuck just happened because he had a conniption in the car and then spiraled out of control. So now she's trying to get some clarity here.
I'm still so confused. Can we just talk? I never meant to offend you. I just really like heels and wanted to look good at the party. I'm sorry. Imagine having to apologize because you wore heels. Like, imagine being around such a sensitive fucking loser that just wearing shoes was offensive to him. Don't chat me, man. You're embarrassing to be around, and even now I'm not with you and you're still embarrassing. Do you realize what you done? I gave you everything and you threw it back in my face. He can't even use the right threw. His fucking goober. I don't even know how you make that mistake with through. When you're actually old enough and mature, you will remember this time and realize you fucked up. This weenie thinks that she's going to be reminiscing about this relationship in the future, as if she's ever going to think about this little McNugget in any way, shape, or form after this, other than maybe looking back on it and laughing. This is such an over-the-top reaction to something so trivial. This is comedic. So I imagine she might think about this in the future as like a, haha, you remember when I dated that gnome who got fucking pissed off because I just wore heels once? Yeah, what a crazy time that was. Meanwhile, this guy is like fluffing himself up, thinking that he's like the best thing that's ever happened to this girl's life, and down the road she's gonna realize she made such a huge error in judgment to wear those heels, to insult his masculinity at a party. She'll lose sleep over it, and she'll rue the day. I just wore heels, though. I don't mean that hostile, just literally confused. Seems like you flipped so quick, and now I'm just feeling confused. You're too masculine for me and I deserve better. Yeah, you're too masculine. You wore heels. That's like the most masculine thing a woman can do, obviously. You're way too masculine. I'm high value and you are still a child and finding your way in life. Yeah, this seems like behavior of a high value male. Melting down all because you're short and insecure and your girlfriend wore heels so she was taller than you and you just didn't like that. Brother, you're short. Get over it. Like, you can't change it. If you hate it that much, go get leg lengthening surgery. Goober is whining about feeling like less of a man because his girlfriend had heels on, God forbid. What a sin. There's nothing high value about having a list of things that can't be done around you so that way you don't feel like a loser. That makes you a nuisance to be around. That's not high value, that's high maintenance. Goober. Like, he is trying to, like, hypnotize himself with it. Like, he stands on his step stool so he can look himself in the mirror and just reaffirm that, I'm high value, I'm high value, I'm high value. She's wrong because she wore heels. She insulted my value. It's not your fault. I understand you aren't very conscious and have baby brain. Oh, God, just reading that sentence out loud is revolting. I understand you aren't very conscious. What is he doing? Dating a dead body? Like, what? I don't think he's expressing what he means to. Then he's insulting her, calling her stupid, basically, for having the idea of wearing heels around this short, insecure loser with such a short fuse. It's absurd. I really wish that she had, like, started dunking on him. He is so sensitive. All of this, all worked up because his girlfriend wore heels at a party, which made him feel emasculated. I have a high-value network, and when I'm around big people... I already love the start to that sentence. Big people. I don't know if he means physically or metaphorically, like, you know, powerful people, or if he just means tall people. This man just goes to a party, and, like, with average-sized people, he just thinks he wandered into the fucking Elbaf land of the giants from One Piece. It's so fucking absurd reading the things this guy had to say. All over him being just so uncomfortable in his own skin. When I'm around big people who I can network with and elevate my business and future, I need someone who shows me off and compliments me. You're so needy, brother. Oh my God. Makes me look good in front of others. You're not that. Don't message me ever again. She did nothing wrong. She wore heels. That's it. It's not like she went out there and started insulting him or anything. He just lost his mind. He's going off his gourd here just because she wore heels and was a little taller than him at a party. Who cares? Get over it. You are short. I am short. It is something you're gonna have to come to terms with, man. It's not changing, unless you do want to go through leg lengthening. And even then, even if you do go down that path, you're gonna get made fun of for that too. You're gonna get clowned on. So your best bet is to come to terms with it now, instead of letting all this hostility fester where you're lashing out at people that have done nothing wrong with this short man syndrome of being, like, so hostile to anyone you think is slighting you. She did nothing to insult you. All she did was wear heels because she likes wearing heels. That's a very normal thing to do. If she was a little taller than you, so what? It is what it is. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's not that big a deal. It's not worth being this insufferable piece of shit to her all over that. And then, like, breaking up with her and, you know, just going ballistic for something so minuscule that doesn't matter. He talks as if he needed to do this to appease his high-value network that he's built up here, like some kind of fucking Illuminati or something. But it sounds more like the network he's building up is people that don't really respect him, and he doesn't want to give them more ammo for insults. He's like, geez, you're taller than me in heels. The high-value network that I'm around will not appreciate that. All right, you gotta go. Hit the road, please. You've insulted me. You've made me feel like less of a man. Like, how is that not just so shameful? Being short, it's not the best thing in the world. It's not like I love being 5'6", but again, I can't change it. And I'm not going to be mad about it forever. I stopped being mad about my height when I stopped growing at like 21, even though my height had only grown like a couple inches since high school. What am I going to do about it? What value is there in getting angry at anyone taller than me? Or feeling as though people look at me as less of a man? What value is there in me just constantly being on edge about that kind of shit? It's preposterous to get this worked up over it. This is now a message to all of my fellow shortmen out there. Do not be like this guy. Just come on in. The water's fine. Being short's not that big a deal. Trust me, it's really not. It's fine. Anyway, I just wanted to yap about this a bit. Had me giggling. That's it. So, yep.
It's been a little while since I dropped some hot, steaming, creepy text messages on all of you, and I think we were long overdue for some more, so Coach called me off the bench and I'm about to provide. But something a little different here. The text messages I'm going to show aren't like the standard weirdo, unhinged, lunatic type behavior, but I think it's something that a lot of people might be able to learn from. So, to give a little background, the poster here, she mentioned that she had gone on one date with this guy and knew him for like 2 months, and the date didn't go super well. And then we fast forward to this interaction that we're about to cover, and the reason why I think this is a teachable moment is because I feel like this is something maybe a lot of people do without realizing it's not a good idea, and there's actually hints of old Charles in these text messages here. Deep in the flavor profile of these embarrassing texts we're about to go over, I see myself staring me in the mirror when I was but a wee lad, a young man. The very first time I got a girl's number that I was interested in, I was giddy. It felt like I had just won the Super Bowl, and I couldn't stop texting her, even when I wasn't getting responses, which is a big no-no. That is a huge, unforgivable sin. You don't do that because it's annoying. And sometimes if I didn't receive a response after my like 4th text in a row within a like 20-minute period, I'd just be like, oh man, shucks, she hates me. Zoinks, I blew it. And then I'd still send like another 3 texts. And I know I mentioned this before at one point, but sometimes I'd get so like desperate and like begging for a response that I'd send her little ASCII art of stick figures. It's so bad. Actually, that was worse than the guy in the messages we're about to cover. But his is floating around, and I really think it's important that people realize that that's just not how you should communicate with anyone. Not even just someone that you're interested in, just anybody in general. No one likes to just be pestered. So let's begin. I am believing right now you might be my kryptonite. Need to hang out more, but I'm pretty sure you're my kryptonite. I'm good with anyone, and they will probably be my best friend once they are done. Just what I'm used to. I don't really know what that means, if I'm being honest. What do you mean, she's your kryptonite? It's supposed to be cute and romantic, but I don't really get it. That's kind of like an insult to her. Like, look, you're bad for me. You literally poison me. You make me sick, is basically what that's saying. It's not really that romantic, but I think he's trying to mean it in like a sweet way. But anyway, She says, sorry, I can't talk right now. I just got my son from school. Give me a second. Which is totally reasonable. She's giving a response, letting him know that she can't really properly respond to whatever conversation's trying to be started from this cold open. And he goes, okay, sounds good. Enjoy your time with them, please. Cody is about to get home, and then we're gonna go play some skee board, and I'm drinking, and then sends a picture of the beverage. He must have been butt-chugging that Miller Lite there, because then things really fly off the rails. Feels kind of weird being in Wichita Falls. I love it, though. Let's have a good time. Can I call you? I miss you already. Sorry to call, just wanted to talk to you. I'm guessing he tried dialing her there, and didn't get a response. I don't want to be one of those guys that just be passionate about anything, but in the instance I was passing about you, there's a couple things in society that you go through. I don't know what type of Confucius wisdom he was trying to drop there. There's a whole lot of words in that vomit, and none of it translates to anything in that sentence. I don't know what was even said there. That is a real head-scratcher. Where's life and just live, but nothing truly measures to you meeting up and having a good conversation. I like you. I like you a lot. My friends coming from all destinations have a party tonight. I hope you're there. I hope you have school. Please deem that necessary. Please deem your boy necessary. I love our conversation, but I'm probably the best dude you ever know. Big red flag. Anyone that identifies as a nice guy or the best guy you ever know, hey, probably not going to be the best guy you ever know. Yeah, I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. If you're tooting your own horn, that horn's gonna be stinky most of the time here. But me saying that, I don't know. But you are a princess to me. Sorry to text you so much, as I'm not a texter. Do you need to call me? I'm there. I'm leaving Cheddar's now, about to hang out with one of my friends. He's meeting me here. Heart. And she finally responds saying, I'm sorry, I have class in a minute. I'm trying to rush through everything quick as can be. Again, totally understandable. She has already said that she is busy. So it's probably not a good idea to just fucking flood her phone with all this spaghetti that's fallen out here. So let's break this down. He's clearly very excited. And there's nothing wrong with being excited. Being excited's great, but maybe dial it back when you're not getting responses. He talks about loving their conversation. Brother, there's no conversation except for the one you're having with a ghost right now. There's nothing happening in these messages. You are speaking to yourself. To me, it seems like he started panicking when he wasn't getting a response in a time period he felt was acceptable, so then just kept sending more and more text messages on top of it, just bombarding her. And then he sent another picture of, I believe, them out and about. Another thing is, I don't think just sending a bunch of pictures is a good idea either when you're not getting responses. That makes it seem very desperate. Just let this sit for a bit. Just let it ruminate. Let her marinate on this and get back to you when she's not busy. You don't need to keep sending these text messages, which is a lesson that I and many others have learned. You don't want to just keep texting endlessly if you're not getting responses. There's this unspoken rule, I suppose, about, double texting or the forbidden jutsu of a triple text. Of course, it's mainly a meme, but there is some real logic behind it. If you're texting with someone and they're not really responding, it's not really a good idea to just keep pressing that. Either they're not interested, which is fine, it happens, or they're busy. And in either one of these cases, sending more text messages is only going to serve to make things much more uncomfortable and worse all around. Girl, be you, that's all that I want, but I do want to see you. And then sends this creep shot of just two women at the bar they're at, two older women. And then he goes, so Cody and I are about to take these ladies home, laughing emojis. I swear to God, two old ladies about to take us home. I want to see you. You in class? This is just really weird. This is bizarre. Where is this coming from? Why are you taking a photo of just two random ladies claiming they're trying to take you home or something? Shit's getting a little loopy here, and it's still not hitting. She's still not responding because, again, she has already explained she has class. She is busy here. Now, the way he's texting makes me feel like he's drunk at the very least, because it's almost incoherent, like babbling, saying nothing. It's so many messages to say nothing. What do you mean? I hope you deem your boy necessary or whatever. What is going on? Like, this is... You shouldn't be texting right now. What you need is some Pedialyte and just rest and recuperate. So she finally responds again saying, I'm in class, I'm sorry. I don't know what the prize that needs to be paid. Just really love the time we had. Might be getting soft. And she's as confused as I am. What do you mean, lol? Me sure who I am is the price I mean. I appreciate the explanation, Yoda. Again, what? Huh? Another picture of some beverages here. We're about to move. Dude thinks he is prettier than me. What the fuck? I told me I can pull more chick than you, bro. Had me cracking up. Just move to the side and have fun, bro, is what I told him. And then sends a picture of a song that he's listening to. I don't know what's happening in the lore right now. He's treating these text messages with this girl like it's his diary. Or like he's live blogging his life right now in real time, live tweeting in these texts. It's baffling. I also think he's making it up. Like, I don't understand what this is supposed to be. You won't believe this. Guy said he could pull more chick than me? Ha! I couldn't stop laughing. It reminds me of that really shitty advice that people used to preach about, convince a woman that you're desirable by making it seem like other women are vying for your attention and time. Like, fake a phone call or something. Pardon me, madam. I'm getting a phone call. Yes, Stacy. No, the pussy appointment was canceled. We can have sex another night. I'm busy. It's boys' night. I'll call you back. All right, goodbye. Sorry, it's this girl. She always wants to fuck me. But anyway, what was your name again? Like one of those things where it's like, oh wow, this guy's got so many girls are interested in this guy. I mean, maybe I should be interested too. Was the line of thought. That's what those text messages scream to me. That he's just making that whole situation up right there. Because what random dude's gonna come up saying that he's prettier than him and that he can pull more chicks than him? Just a total stranger. That's not like a human interaction that would ever happen. Some dudes smell like ass. Laughing emojis. My goodness. Why are you telling her this? What is the response even supposed to be? And then he just sends like another random photo of someone playing pool. Presumably him playing pool, I guess. I don't know. He just keeps sending all these fucking photos of beer, two old ladies, him, beer, pool. Why? It's not a picture book. It's supposed to be text messages, like a conversation, but there's no conversation. Stop fucking texting. And he just says, haha. And she responds again, finally, after a bit of a drought, saying, that's nice. I mean, yeah, that sums it up. Like, what are you supposed to say to this? Just, oh, cool. Oh, interesting. Nice. And then he goes, not without you. We are at Deep Eddies. My goodness, lol. You are going to be able to come out? We will come pick you up. Am I going to be able to see you before the night over with? Like, he's going full caveman mode with a lot of these statements here. I think he has drank a lot over the course of the evening. And still, after all of these messages, nothing of value was said. It's just been weird. You've sent 30 messages to almost no response ever. So let the lesson be learned here to not just keep texting into the void. If you're not getting responses, don't force it. It's a bad idea to just keep sending text after text after text. This fool. And then she finally responds and she just gets right down to business. I don't want to be rude, but you knew I had class. I made it clear. I've been here an hour and a half and you have texted me 33 times compared to my 5 times. This was all... I bet a lot of you watching this thought that these text messages had come over the course of like a day or something. An hour and a half. Jiminy Christmas. I'm sorry, I do not want to pursue this any further. You don't understand boundaries or when someone isn't answering. Be safe. Have a good night. I think that is a very understandable, reasonable, and respectful way of just getting this across here. He clearly did not respect boundaries or respect that she was busy, so I think this makes complete sense. And he says, I won't text you anymore, nor will I ever message you again. Have a good life.
My apologies did not mean any disrespect. I hope you climb mountains. I truly like you. Glad you disrespected me now so I know. I get it. Wow. And then that emoji, I don't really know what that emoji's supposed to convey here for the emotion. Told me that you would keep me updated. We have a good life. And then some more hand emojis. I mean, it could have been worse, I suppose.
Yeah, anyway, just wanted to share this. Hopefully you learned something from it. That's about it. See ya. It's been a little while since I've gone over some text messages, and I still giggle at them to myself from time to time, but there hasn't been anything truly interesting that's come across my desk until today. This one gave me a big old hoot and a holler here as it aims to tackle the age-old question, how long should you wait after connecting with a human being to graduate from text messages to phone calls? For this one brave soul, that was about an hour. And the results were not optimal, to say the least. This fairy tale starts the way that all the good ones do. They matched on a dating app about an hour ago, and then he reaches out saying hello, and then tries to call them. She responds by saying, hey, smiley face, I'm watching a movie with my parents right now. I'll be able to call in a bit. I'm sorry. She seems super sweet, giving an explanation and even offering an apology for not being able to hop on the hotline right away. And it's not like she owed him an explanation or an apology, it was just a nice gesture. It's a very awful idea to try and call someone that you just met an hour ago. You only became aware of each other's existence like less than 60 minutes ago. He tries to grit his teeth and bear it, but the pain is too much. He says, oh, okay. And it comes across pretty sad. I don't know if he actually was sad here, but it seems to me like I can feel him looking down at the ground while he types that and like kicking some dirt. And I think she picked up on that because she issues another apology, but then says, how's your night going? So she's trying to at least make a conversation out of this, so she seems interested. He goes, no, it's okay. I'm excited to hear your voice though. Maybe send me pics of you? Mine is okay. I'm just chillin'. To me, it sounds like he's fishing for some sacred nudies here. I believe that he's probably in Coomer mode right now. His dick is in DEFCON 5, and now he's requesting some pics. I imagine if she did answer that phone call, it would have just been heavy breathing into it. Like something out of a horror movie. The phone calls coming from inside the house. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is just a guy who really enjoys talking over the phone and getting some pictures of the person he's talking to over the other end. Totally innocent pictures.
Holy shit, what are you playing?
It's a little game called AFK Journey. Do you want to know more?
Yeah.
Big thanks to AFK Journey for sponsoring this video. AFK Journey is a wonderful free-to-play game that's available now on iOS, Google Store for mobile, and the AFK Journey official website for PC. Again, it's totally free to play and I highly recommend checking it out. AFK Journey is an ethereal RPG with distinctive visuals that you can just get lost in the breathtaking 3D canvas art of its world. It's more than just an idle game. There's new gameplay elements to it, a lot of new mechanics, as well as an added dimension with the PC-compatible side-scrolling. You'll be gathering heroes across 6 factions and formulating winning strategies with different teams. The Hex battle map allows players to freely assemble their hero lineup and strategically position them so you can master battlefield strategies to conquer each challenge with precision. You'll be exploring big maps, solving fun puzzles, meeting interesting NPCs, all with extremely fun and effortless one-handed gameplay. The official release is giving away over 40 heroes for free, including 200 free pulls for completing things like a 7-day login. So make sure to check out AFK Journey and use my CD key AFK Journey 88. You get a lot of goodies for that, 18,888 golden coins, 100 diamonds, some great stuff, so make sure to check it out. The links are in the description, and big thanks again to AFK Journey for sponsoring. Surprisingly, she doesn't seem creeped out by that. She says, "Oh, that's cute. I'm excited to hear yours too, and yeah, of course, I'll send some pics right now." Which is not the response I thought that would garner. I would have expected some kind of ickiness to it, and maybe a question about, like, why? I mean, we've known each other less than 60 minutes. You can just scroll my fucking online dating profile to see some pics of me. His response to her is just, okay, cool. This guy is just very concise, matter of fact. She says, for the pics, do you want like recent ones? Because I have a ton ranging from like 2 weeks ago to like 4 years. He says, yes, but any
frowny face, and then winky frowny face. Every bone in my body is telling me that this dude is absolutely looking for some titty pics. He's looking for some honkers or something here. He's not looking for just like your normal Facebook photos or something you'd post on your Instagram story. He's not looking for you at the movies or something from 2 weeks ago seeing the Winnie the Pooh horror film. He's looking for ass and titties. That's my guess here, especially with like the winky frowny. I don't know why he's frowning so much. I'm not really sure. Maybe that's like an accident. Maybe you want to do like a winky face with a smile. But for some reason, he just keeps accidentally sending frowning faces, including like a winking frown face, which I've never seen before. I don't know how you even like sad wink at something to begin with either. I don't know, just it seems like conflicting emotions there. He then calls her twice within 20 minutes and says, "Hello, upset. I'm waiting, lol." This guy types like he's playing a MOBA. Like he's typing as quickly as possible just to convey the bare minimum amount of information. Upset. Hello? Okay, cool. Frowny. Winky frowny. Like it's just very basic shit here. He's not actually even having a conversation. It's weird. Yet he keeps really wanting to talk on the phone. I don't know what would have happened if she answered some of these calls. Like maybe he'd just fart into it and hang up while giggling. Perhaps, I don't know, like a big prank call? A huge ruse? Anyway, after 2 more failed calls, she says, "Hey, sorry, I just finished the movie. I wasn't looking at my phone, but I apologize that you're upset, but I just want to be straightforward with you since you were with me. I'm not like a very clingy person, and I'm kind of getting that vibe already, you know?" And he goes, "No, I just wanted to talk. You can answer, or call back." Completely missing the point of what she was saying, just insistent on having this phone call here. It's worse than a telemarketer. This guy just cold turkey calls her out of the blue. She doesn't answer, even issues an apology for not answering, which she didn't owe him, and he is still hung up on that and won't take any new information in. His brain is flooded with one idea. He can only hold one thought in his mind at any time, and right now that thought is, want to talk on phone. Upset if no talk on phone. So he's just stuck in that mode. So she goes, "No, I get that. I just like taking things slow if that's okay." And he says, "Are you scared of connection? You can't talk without thinking it's too fast. Just call Jeez Louise." I have to wonder if she's communicating with a 13-year-old. Jeez Louise? You're dropping Jeez Louise in 2024? This is not what the Lord died for. Are you kidding me with this? Is this some kind of joke? Get out of town. A Jeez Louise in this day and age? He then goes, "I could literally call right now. It's so easy. I don't like being ignored." No shit, it's easy to call, but why do you want to do that? And why won't you take no for an answer? You've known each other less than an hour. You don't even know each other. You just both had like a Metal Gear Solid ping that made you alerted that this other person existed, and now you're talking through Snapchat. This actually might be a toddler. Maybe the person that she matched with through Tinder or whatever the online dating app was, maybe they went to an Easter celebration with family and then their little nephew got a hold of the iPad and then just started talking to some of his contacts, and this lady was one of those victims here. So she's actually just communicating with a legitimate diaper-shitting, milk-snorting little kid. Because no adult, I feel like, communicates this way. I'm starting to really believe in that conspiracy theory here. But anyway, she responds, "Of course not, but I like to take things slow. I'm sorry. Please respect that I'm trying to be as cordial as possible. I haven't had the best experiences in the past." That's in response to the "Are you scared of connection" line that he drops here. Like he's out of some kind of bad Hallmark movie, or The Young and the Restless. Because she won't accept his random fucking phone calls here. And then in response, he tries to call her again. She says, "I would like to just text maybe until I'm more comfortable." And his response is, "I'm S." And then an audio message. I have to wonder, that's got to be like the worst 26 seconds a microphone has ever recorded. I can only imagine what his voice sounds like. I'm imagining like squealing, high-pitched, nasally, like almost shatter glass level of an opera singer, like with that very high note, but throughout the entire 26 minutes. I also wonder what he was trying to say. I'm S. Maybe that's some kind of code that needs to be deciphered here. I'm serious, perhaps? I'm shitting? I'm silly? I have no idea. But anyway, she then takes a screenshot of the chat, and then he dumps a screenshot. He then follows that up by saying right at the top, and then tries to call her once again, just continuing to poke her here. He says, "Just wonder, answer." Maybe he's like actually overdosing right now, and he's calling, trying to beg her to call the police to get them over there to save his life. Like, I have no idea what's happening to his brain. It's turning to mush right before our eyes. Like he's getting hit by a stupid beam, and we're watching him fade away. She says, I don't really know what to say. I feel like I'm being backed into a corner right now. He says, stop typing, and then calls her again, which of course she doesn't respond to, and then says, OMG, drops another 26-second audio message, which is interesting that it's the exact same amount of time. I wonder if it's just the same message he dropped again. I'm not really sure. I also wonder what he said during that, to be honest. But anyway, he then says, bye, little baby. Oh, the heebie-jeebies. I'm getting them. Jinkies. Oh, good. Bye, little baby. Oh, yuck. And then she just says, can you please respect my boundaries? I apologize that I said I'd call earlier. I got nervous and I would feel more comfortable texting. If calling is more your thing when you first meet someone, then maybe we just aren't the best match. I wish you luck. Maybe we can try again tomorrow. I'm going to take a shower and head to bed. Good night. I don't know why she would even try and say, like, maybe we can try again tomorrow. She should have just not responded at all because this guy is unhinged. This is just an absolute weirdo and there's no salvaging this. Maybe she was a little fearful of, like, what this guy might do, perhaps, which is a very legitimate fear, so it's best to, like, cushion the blow. But even still, this guy is fucking weird. He then just says, no, like a defeated Power Rangers villain. Because that boundary is silly. I don't care. I'm of interested anymore. Bye. Not. So he's saying, I'm not interested anymore. So because she wouldn't talk on the phone, he's no longer interested and he thinks that boundary is silly, thus he has no respect for it. What a man. And then she says, okay, I apologize again. Hope you have a great night. And then he just says, just say bye. What a quirky little lunatic here. Impressive self-sabotage. Like, this lady seemed more than willing to communicate, like, interested in learning more about him, just didn't really want to hop on a phone call, which is super understandable since they'd only known of each other for less than an hour. She gave so many chances to just stop doing the creepy phone call routine and just text like normal people that are starting to get to know each other through like an online dating app. Like, you're not friends and you don't know each other at all. So why the fuck would you want to hop on a phone call first thing right away? That's overwhelming. That's a lot. That's just weird. And he just kept getting creepier and creepier. He fell apart. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to go over this one because it had me giggling quite a bit because, geez Louise, he was off the rails. That's really about it. See ya. Flirting with someone can oftentimes be challenging, and occasionally the only winning move is not to play. Sometimes it's best just to spam emotes and see how that goes. And today, I want to take you on a journey. It's a 2-part epic like Homer's Odyssey, but if Homer had written about a weirdo who's desperately trying to make a woman fall in love with him by calling her autistic. Now, the backstory here, I'll go ahead and give you the cliff notes of the prequel. This gentle sir protagonist has just joined a new friend group and has found particular interest in this woman, and he reaches out to her trying to, like, talk to her saying, I'll be honest with you, I don't understand you. And then he just goes on to say that she's quiet and he doesn't know anything about her other than she likes potatoes in the town of Salem, and that he just laments that he just doesn't know anything about her and she doesn't make eye contact with him. She asks, does that bother you? And he says no, which is a big fib right there. Lying is a sin and now he's condemned straight to hell. This clearly bothers him because he melts down about it. He also doesn't keep that charade up for long. He immediately folds and says, I mean, somewhat, yeah. It actually hurts a lot. It keeps me up at night. I actually can't sleep. I'm crying all the time because of it. But it's a normal human response, so you can't blame me. Too late. I'm already blaming you. Can I ask a blunt question? She says, sure. And he says, are you autistic? Man, the Riz Lord has struck like a lightning bolt here. If those panties aren't sodden after that blunt question, I just don't know what works anymore. She says, no, are you? And he goes, lol, no. So what do you think about me? She says, in what way? He seems to get kind of offended by that, so he snaps like a Redditor adjusting his fedora. It's a simple question. What do you think about me? Madame, it's actually quite elementary, honestly. What do you think about me as a lover? She pulls no punches and just goes, I don't really think of you, so not sure how to answer that. That was quite the fucking biblical smackdown right there. And he says, Jesus, okay, I'll try something else. Why? At that point, you should just be like, yep, that didn't work. I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna go solo queue in League of Legends and wash away my troubles. Like, I don't know why he's gonna try something else. But he goes, why do you never laugh at my jokes? Not that I'm trying to make you in particular laugh. Why is it so hard to make conversation with you? It's like I'm reading text messages from Timmy Turner to Trixie. Like, what do you mean? Why do you never laugh at my jokes? I wonder what the dynamic of the friend group is like with this guy in there. Does he try to be like the class clown or something? So, for context, she is 23 years old, he is 24 years old, and I imagine the rest of the friend group is in that early 20s ballpark. So these aren't children, these are adults. And he's like, why do you never laugh at my jokes? I told you to pull my finger and I tooted. And you didn't even giggle. Like, what am I supposed to do? This is side-splitting comedy. Come on. Why is it so hard to make conversation with you? Are you autistic? He just texts so juvenile. What do you think about me? Do you like me? Circle yes or no. Or you're autistic. And then he, runs away. She responds saying, I'm more of a listener. Don't take it personal. I'm just shy, I guess. And then he immediately takes it personal. There's gotta be a reason. I'm better looking and more successful than 90% of the men you know. So what's your type? I want to get to know you. He's desperate. He's on his knees right now, shaking his hands. I must know. There's gotta be a reason. And she says, my type is a man who doesn't ask me if I'm autistic. I mean, that's pretty picky. Come on. Well, you're looking for a unicorn here. All good men accuse the women they're trying to win over of being autistic at some point. It's standard protocol. This guy's just following the textbook formula. He then says, can you blame me for assuming that? What the fuck? Yes, absolutely. That's a crazy thing to assume about someone, especially considering his whole purpose of the conversation was trying to get laid. Like, he's romantically interested in this person, and his way of spitting game is to ask if they're autistic. That's such a weird thing to do. And then he goes, don't get me wrong, you're pretty, but I definitely considered the possibility you're autistic or definitely on the spectrum somewhere. One of the number one signs of autism is not laughing at this guy's jokes. So he looked it up on WebMD and he was just, for her own sake, concerned for her well-being. He's actually looking out for her. She says, lol, what? Reflect on your words when you go to bed tonight. See ya. Just trying to end this conversation because it's going downhill so quick. This is an avalanche of dog shit. And he just goes, wow. Owen Wilson's there for a moment and then just says, I think you're jealous I spent the night with redacted and you went home alone. This is classic. When everything goes tits up, it's like, you're actually just super jealous of me because I'm slamming ham on the regular. I'm fucking your friends. I am having sex with women that want me because it's impossible for a woman not to want me. You just must be autistic. That's what's going on here. And you're jealous now. You're the problem, not me. And you're lucky that I even gave you the time of day. Your loss. He then clears the air here, making sure that it doesn't trouble her mind that Casanova has spoken for, and he also doesn't want any rumors to spread in the friend group, so he clarifies, don't worry, nothing happened, we just watched Netflix in bed. No need to be jealous. And then drop this emoji. I have a hunch she really wasn't jealous. Just a guess. She doesn't seem interested. And I think you have ensured that she will never be interested by trying to, diagnose her with autism through text message flirting. Now, the next day, she made a follow-up post because he had an even bigger, psychotic break here. So that was all part one. Part two, he comes back bigger and badder than ever here. The sequel went insano style. So he texts her saying, what's your problem? Is this some sort of trauma response? Crying, laughing emoji, which I don't think there was any laughing, just crying behind the phone on this one. I just don't get it. Blank, using her name. I've known you since March 12th, and for whatever God knows what reason, you decide to treat me like complete shit. You hug redacted, but not me. You share a couch with redacted, but when I join, you get up and leave. Do you think I'm fucking stupid? Or blind? Or what? The fuck did I ever do to you? I'm pissed off because you're clueless and extremely oblivious to the point you don't appreciate a good thing when it's directly in your face. What the hell is even that, brother? A good thing when it's directly in your face? The only thing that's directly in her face is your accusations that she might be autistic. What are you talking about? You're LARPing as her, doctor, and nothing else. Even just setting aside the baffling autism accusations, there's no even semblance of romance behind his texts. They're just aggressive. Like, and nothing beyond that. They're just weird. So I don't know why he's thinking that he's doing such a good job with the game that she should be enamored with him. But then he just goes, I just, period, don't, period, get, period, it, period. Goes full-blown rock bottom. I just don't get it. Help me understand her name. He keeps repeating her name. So he just keeps saying it over and over again. Just saying her name in these texts. And she just says, lol, what? She says, are you fighting yourself right now? Am I involved in this argument? Man, she is just absolutely slapping this guy. It's so good. Yeah, I mean, this guy's just fighting his inner demons here. This man's battling ghosts in the paranormal dimension. He says, this is all about you, her name. Stop acting so obtuse. You may not be autistic, but you sure act like you're into trains or some shit. I don't know what is going on in his fucking frontal lobe here. It just gets worse and worse. She says, LMAO, why do you keep saying my name? Trains are cool. Is there some unresolved childhood trauma I need to know about? Because what the fuck is your problem? I can help you out if that's the case, but you have to let me take the first step and stop being so guarded all the damn time. It's impossible to get through to you. Why would you be asking about these things? If there's some childhood trauma, I need to know about it. Also, let's just go ahead and assume she's like, you know what, there is some childhood trauma, and then she, like, spills her guts to him. This would be, like, the worst person to confide anything in. This is a guy who is already having a conniption because she doesn't laugh at his jokes and doesn't make eye contact enough with him. Like, I highly doubt he would be a good confidant for anything heavy. This guy would immediately be like, oh, well, childhood trauma, that's another symptom of autism. It's ridiculous. You're lucky you have me around, honestly. Says her name again, which is so creepy. He just keeps throwing her name into every message he sends as if it's some kind of, like, dramatic moment in a television series. Please, I know you hear it all the time, but you're very pretty. I like you when you're not acting like an autistic, frigid bitch. Respectfully. Hey, that silver tongue's coming out in full effect right now. He's becoming irresistible. March 12th, and I haven't proven myself enough to you yet. Real quick, March 12th is not that long. It's not like you've fucking known her your whole life or anything. Like, what are you expecting to do in this span of time to make her fall in love with you? What do you mean you haven't proven yourself enough to her yet? What are you trying to do, like backflips and shit? Do you just keep trying to tell, like, the worst jokes imaginable, hoping to get some kind of pity giggle out of her? Like, it's so incomprehensible. He thinks that it's been such a long time. You've been single all this time. Ages. Almost 2 months you've been single. Like, it's crazy. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute. It's extremely suspicious, actually. Why would a girl like you be single? What are you hiding? I don't understand what you want, in all honesty, lol. First step of what? Referring to his previous message where he asked her to, or when he said that he wants to take the first step, but she needs to let him. She teases him with some sarcasm here. LMAO, okay, I'm hiding so much, dude. First step of our potential. He's already envisioned 5 different universes where you two are madly in love, and the potential it's incalculable. I can make your life 10 times better than it is now. I'm so sure of that, I'd give that to you in writing, which is legally binding through text messages. You're beautiful, her name again, and I'm what you want in a guy, correct? Incorrect. Where did he even get that assumption from? I'm exactly what you want in a guy, right? The one who just keeps accusing you of being autistic? That's what you're looking for, isn't it? No? Well, I guess you have some unresolved childhood trauma then, and you're just a frigid bitch, I suppose. And then he just says, you're joking. You're performing. He can't accept that she wouldn't be interested in him. You're putting on a teach me a lesson or something stupid, lol. I don't for a second believe you. Her name again. What does that mean? You're putting on a teach me a lesson? What is that? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense. I don't have to date you just because you find me physically attractive. That's like consent 101. Believe what you want. Don't forget, I'm suspicious. Yeah, you are, because there's no way you're single. You either have a severe mental disorder or asexual. And she says, so anyone who's not into you falls under that category, LMAO. Interesting. I love so many things about you. Her name again. The way that his mind is able to switch gears is pretty impressive here. You must have a severe mental disorder. I love so many things about you, Schnookums. Oh, sweet pea, oh my goodness, I just want to cuddle up inside you and let our bodies perform fucking friction on each other till we start a fire with our love. Genuinely, I love you as a friend, and I love you as a person. I want to make you smile. Smile emoji. That's so cringe. Oh, that's so fucking bad. I want to make you smile. Like this. See Exhibit A, for example. It's the smiling emoji with a little blush. Oh, he's trying to be mushy here after insulting her, doing nothing but insulting her for the entire, 2-day conversation. What's your height, by the way? All of my exes have been 5'9 plus, so taller than you, Winky. But you have gorgeous eyes and tasty lips for sure. You look healthy. You make me want to become a daddy. Who took his phone? Who did he just give his phone to? This can't be the same guy. This is full-blown Jekyll and Hyde. It cannot be the fucking same guy. Literally, the previous message before he tried this approach was saying that she must have some kind of severe mental disorder or be asexual because she's still single after 2 months. Oh boy. Jiminy Christmas. So, this is going to be a shocker, but that's the last time they communicated, at least as of right now. She shared the text messages with the rest of the friend group, and they found him to be extremely obnoxious and creepy, so apparently they kicked him out and they don't really talk to him. Can't imagine why. Seems like such a good, stable individual, I suppose. Yeah, I just wanted to share this a little bit. If you're going to try and flirt with someone, maybe don't follow this guy's roadmap. Not very effective. That's about it. So yeah.